Hello. Woods of Odin responding to Got That Funk regarding karma and edible napalm, dances with napalm, napalm the barbarian, napalm strikes back, all of his names. He started this discussion about karma, and I wanted to weigh in a little bit. Now, I don't necessarily agree with the concept of karma as in a mystical sort of concept. I don't have any evidence to suggest that I have lived past lives or will live in future incarnations, and I don't see a, I don't see a system working where what I do in a past life is going to somehow have an effect on a future life. Now, you brought up the example, and I'm not saying you do believe in karma. You know, I don't know, but you talked about people in a wheelchair, um, and I remember seeing something on TV a long, long time ago. It was something on educational TV, right? But there was a Buddhist monastery in a particular town where a lot of people um, had gotten limbs blown off. Children had gotten limbs blown off because of landmines. It's just a common thing around there. And these monks would not help those missing limbs because they believed that it was the karma of the people who were stepping on landmines as children. Um, to me, that's like, well, thanks for the compassion. Ugh, honestly, come on. Which brings me to my next point. I was on, long, long time ago, I was on an e-group full of, well, there was a lot of people who were into various forms of Eastern religion, as well as a lot of people into New Age, but the conversation was usually pretty intelligent. I didn't see a lot of people just completely bastardizing Eastern philosophies like the New Age often does. Now, there was one person who rightfully so said that if we try to look at things from a karmic standpoint, we get very mixed up. We'll look at a person who's wheelchair bound or blind, etc., and we'll say, well, karmically, what's going on there? And what if it's just they have to live their life and work off their karma, and is it doing them a service to somehow let them lead a much harder life so that they can have a better life in the end? What if offering them charity, etc., would somehow not allow them to learn whatever lesson they're supposed to learn in this incarnation, and so on and so forth? And you can turn yourself in circles thinking about the karmic implications of anything. So it's a heck of a lot better for everyone involved to look at things from the standpoint of dharma. So if you see somebody who is, say, wheelchair bound, to give an example, what would be the right action? What would be the right thought? What would be, gosh, I'm sorry, I forget the Eightfold Path right now, but, you know, once you're there, what's the compassionate thing to do? What's going to help to relieve the suffering for those of us who are still in the wheel of suffering? Now, I'm not a Buddhist, as you can tell by my picture over here, but yeah, now if I horribly botched something, please let me know, because I'm no expert and I don't claim to be. But I think that I've, you know, since I've read a few books and stuff, I think I have a better understanding than, well, a lot of people who have only read, say, oh, I don't know, just some of the New Age stuff. Um, and well, I was going to digress and say, well, but say, okay, so blah blah blah, New Age, blah blah blah. But I don't have a problem with all New Age because blah blah blah. Well, whatever. I'm not going to get into that. And this is getting rambly and very boring, so I'm going to stop. So I hope I've contributed something to the discussion, and hopefully people who do have a belief in karma will not use that as an excuse not to do good, which people say, oh, but good is relative. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Hopefully people aren't using the karma as an excuse, or karma as, oh, it's my karma that I'm blah, so I can't adapt to my situation or fix my situation, whatever the case may be. Alright, well, thanks for listening, for anyone who actually got this far in my rambling nonsense. So, I don't have a cool sign off.